Good morning, y'all. It's Achilles, your crockpot Genshin theorist, and today's episode is on Alice. And yes, this episode on her is inspired by my 3 a.m. message to my friend saying it'd be really funny if the Cryo Archon was Alice. Now, of course, this is highly unlikely, despite my tired brain's best arguments before being promptly knocked out. However, this started another train of thought. What do we know about Alice, Klee's mother? Well, let's get it out of the way. Let's start with Alice's titles, which she has a great many of. Elder of the, forgive my pronunciation here, I'm not good with German names, or any names to be exact. Hexenzirkel, Great Adventurer of the Realms, Dodo King, Defender of Old Mondstadt, author of the Teyvat Travel Guide, originator of the Kujari art Timara Jutsu, mother of the most adorable Klee, the unaging mage, grand sorceress, supplier of the renowned Lord Sangma Bei, also known as Dory. Her skill set, and yeah, she really has a skill set, includes but is not far from being limited to ball making, alchemy, mathematics, astrology, engineering, magic, medicine, creation of hydro barriers and puzzles in the Golden Apple Archipelago, inventing phonograph, inventing the Tamari game, inventing a long-distance communication device, potion concocting, testing various scientific endeavors and engineering projects, although most of her known attempts did end in failure. Mona speaks very highly of Alice, despite being her master's worst enemy, as well as an elder in the Hezen circle of mages. Now, let's get into some of the things that she's done so far, including changing the wings of feasting from their original blue color to the red colors that are closer to her own family lineage. In fact, she only came home to deliver this glider wings to Klee. She went as far to tell Klee as she left that Teyvat's borders have grown fragile over these past 2 years. Looks like Mommy's going to have to get busy. Does this mean that the world is growing weaker somehow? Does her secret coven of sorcerers know the truth of this world? What all does she know? Is she one of the descenders that the Araminsul mentions? Or does she simply ask about her own curiosities and go for the truth wildly? So many answers and yet so many questions and yet too little answers about her. She made a reference to, and again, please pardon my pronunciation, the Rubicon. It is an old saying for the passing of no return, the saying itself, of course, being crossing the Rubicon. Another important detail, characters that are deeply related to Alice, except for Klee, their trailer videos are voiced by her rather than the usual voiceover of Dainsleif. The videos she voices over shows off their abilities, and the videos that she is featured in would be Aloys, Dory, and Wanderers. She simply goes off and does whatever she pleases, despite being at minimum 500 years old. Being at least 500 years old means that she saw the fall of Conrail, as well as the Archon Wars. Alice has such immense magical prowess that Albedo calls her a near omnipotent sorceress, while Diluc claims that, other than Venti, the mortal form of Barbados, there was no way for the Golden Apple Archipelago to have existed in the form that it does. Mona speaks highly of her and hopes that her apprentice, who just happens to be Klee, has learned enough magic to read the fate of the Traveler together. Unfortunately, Klee has not yet learned magic from her mother, and that was much to Mona's disappointment as we follow her story quest. Alice is well known for blowing up portions of Storm Terror's lair, because she, and this is a direct quote from her, didn't think it looked ancient enough. Albedo and Jean are both filled with relief that Klee isn't nearly destructive as her mother, which is impressive, seeing as Klee has flattened a mountain with fire and bombs, according to Razor during his story quest. Alice also has had a very strong maternal role with a lot of characters, attempting to get Albedo to call her mother, which in turn he is very strongly against, and instead refers to her as aunt or auntie, and has sent condolence letters to Diluc and Kaya when his father, Crepus, passed away. Diluc had treated Klee kindly in the past, and so she decided to return the favor. Albedo has also been forced into Alice's family, even more so that Klee sees him as an older brother figure. The only known part of Alice's appearance is that she has elf ears similarly to Klee's. She has yet to make a physical presence in the game, as in her own appearance. She has made plenty of physical damages to acknowledge her presence. Alice is also infamous for making the one and only Yai Miko, or Gujie, cry when she was a small child, meaning that she was alive long before 500 years ago in the game, seeing as she lived to see the cataclysm happen, as well as seeing Kitsune Sigu die. Alice also happens to mention Asai Hibiki as that killjoy shrine maiden, and Nico as that fat cat. Alice gave Barbara a pop idol magazine trying to get the young deaconess to join her own pop idol group Tevat Idols, although the group never came to be due to recruitment issues. She also attempted to recruit Kamisato Ayaka into the group, who denied her at minimum 6 times before she decided to befriend Yoimiya. 3 years before the game's start, Klee's father went out on a very dangerous adventure and has yet to return to Mondstadt, or in general. Then, Alice decided to entrust Klee to the Knights of Favonius and left Mondstadt as well. She became well known in Mondstadt for performing aerobatic stunts after launching herself with an Animos line, only to receive a gliding violation from Jean. While writing the Liyue edition of the travel guide, since that is something she is well known for authoring, as well as the version for Liyue being completely sold out at nearly all times due to how unpopular it was, Alice became acquainted with Zhongli, who is the Geo Archon. She described Zhongli as the sternest person she knows. She also cured a Millelith soldier named Echo of his stutter, but the potion's side effect that she gave him causes him to be compelled to perfectly imitate those around him, which he is still afflicted with to this day. You can run into him when he is stationed outside in Liyue. He basically just mimics the other soldier next to him. It's a very cute little voice line. Now, please forgive all of my pronunciation issues. It's been a rough day for all of us. I'm just one fella trying his best. And in case you're wondering why there's a lot of long pauses in the gameplay footage, it's due to my cat sitting on top of me while I was trying to record. So any long pauses you see is me affectionately calling him a very good boy, and that he is, in fact, the best boy in the entire world. And due to the lag that One Piece Minecraft, which is the mod pack I was playing with in the video, has been causing me, it has been my own imperial decision that I'll be switching over to playing Skyblock for the background of the video, or parkour videos depending on what I feel like doing, because my YouTube channel, my rules. And with that, cut the cameras, video's over, let's leave. See ya.